All right. Good afternoon. My name is Craig Nelson. I work with the Training Division of the Fargo Fire Department. It is my honor to welcome you to the Spring 2022 Joint Fargo and West Fargo Recruit Academy graduation. We are gathered here today to celebrate the success of 9 individuals who will be taking an oath to serve. Our ceremony today will give you an opportunity to hear from the leaders of our communities. It'll give you an idea of what these 9 have been through, and it'll give you a chance to share in their accomplishments. It is now my honor to introduce to you our Fargo Fire Chief, Steve Dirksen.
Well, thanks for the applause. I haven't even sung yet. The mayor asked me to do that, so told me I should sing opera today. It's great to have you all here. We're excited to be at this point of putting some new folks on the streets and working in our communities. We need it. We're short, so we need you guys to work. So we're ready for that. But I want to start with just a few remarks for you. Hopefully, set the tone for your careers and things for you to remember as we go forward here. So, being a public servant is an honor and something that we should cherish. I've been able to do that for nearly 35 years of my life. Pretty much my whole working life, I've been able to work in public service, either in a fire department or an ambulance service. So it's been a great thing for me. In the fire service, we represent something more than ourselves. What we do reflects back on our community positively or negatively. Furthermore, we are professional firefighters. Those who study professionals have discovered 3 distinguishing marks setting them apart from non-professionals. First, professionals are educated. This job demands specialized knowledge that goes beyond mere training. Second, professionals are organized and they continually work to self-improvement. Finally, professionals adhere to high moral standards. We need to concede that the reality of temptation and human frailty, no one is perfect, and we all experience temptation. We need to appreciate the fact that seeking pleasure is not wrong. It's probably one of the most common activities shared by human beings. However, there are appropriate choices and inappropriate choices, and all in the right time and places for all of our gratifications. Unethical behavior breaks community trust and reflects badly not only on the department, but on the fire service as a whole. We need to initiate all actions based on the observed behavior, or facts presented, not our own personal bias, assumptions, or rationalizations. It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. The Fargo Fire Department has established its core values in the acronym PRIDE: professionalism, responsibility, integrity, dependability, and empathy. If you keep these values in front of you as you start your career and use them as a basis for your decisions, you'll likely adhere to the high moral standards. Today, you begin your future with the Fargo Fire Department and the West Fargo Fire Department. Peter Drucker said, "The best way to predict the future is to create it yourselves." Learn the routes, know which way to take. That's not just when you're on a truck, but figure it out in your career, figure out your path. Determine the schedule, set that goal of when you want to accomplish those things. Be ready and pay your dues. Don't let it be handed to you, earn it. Don't leave anything to luck or chance, work hard for it. Refuse to be a victim of chance. You know, I'm reminded of a quote by that great philosopher, Michael Jordan. "I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something, but I cannot accept not trying." Everyone has to do their job. Everyone has to treat each other right. Everyone has to give an all-out effort. Everyone has to have an all-in attitude. Without these things, the group will stand still. All in or all out, the choice is yours. You'll never be criticized by someone for doing more than you. You will only be criticized by someone who is doing less. Let me say that again. You will never be criticized by someone who is doing more than you. You will only be criticized by someone doing less. When you see something that needs to be done, do it. But be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what other people think of you. So congratulations, we're glad that you're at this point in your careers, and we look forward as you start your careers. Now I want to introduce Dr. Mayor Timothy Mahoney.
What an exciting day. You're going to join us, be our fire department, get out there, get stuff done. I love the fact that once you've gone through your training and got to this point, you're graduate and ready to work for us. But what the public really enjoys is watching pictures of you guys taking the training. Kind of wondering if they could hang onto that hose at the right time or if they could do the right thing at the right time. And I'm glad you all passed because that helps us out to get from firefighters and makes new videos that the public enjoys. You all persisted and you rose to the challenge, and that speaks for your character. A lot of times when you interact with the public, it's a good day or a bad day, but you're my ambassador. And Bernie will say the same. Our firefighters are the ambassadors. Each department of police and fire are a little bit different, but oftentimes you are the first people that meet people in a difficult situation, and you make it get better. And you make people calm down, and you help us to get to a point where they can be attended to and taken care of. I'm a little disturbed, though, right now that you guys are too much in the newspaper and too much in the news. Unfortunately, somehow, Chief, we've gotten to be a big city, and there's fires. And I see that all the time. You're fighting fires all the time in our community now, which in the past, we didn't seem to have that many. What I'm especially excited about is West Fargo and Fargo working together, because we can do service faster now with the teams that we have, and we have better coordination than we've ever had for all of us to work together. In my past life, or in my life, a lot of my career, I've been a surgeon, and you have been the people that bring people to me that need to be taken care of. And I always respect and appreciate how your efforts and how you meet the public, how that helps me out, because oftentimes they're calmed down, reassured, okay, we're going to be okay. And you guys are sometimes the first people that give the message to the public what's going on and what are we going to do. And I've always been very appreciative of the ability for you to make things calmer, better. Sometimes a little laughter helps out as well. But you can help people get through incredibly difficult times. I also want to thank our training captains, Captain Dwelly, Captain Sear, and West Fargo Captain Berg for their training. And I hope you enjoyed some good days and bad days with them. I'm almost sure they made you sweat many days. Now, I am going to challenge Bernie Dardis because at one time you guys had me put on firefighters and go in and try to save a 200-pound person. And when I was doing that, I said, God, I wish people went on diets because 200 pounds is a lot of weight to pull out somebody out of a building. And getting through that and trying to see things with your masks on and all the things that you do, I very much appreciate the ability for you to pull somebody out. I also discovered that if you pull in somebody's hair, it's easier to pull them out. So I won't give you that little tip, but Bernie and I would be bad ones to try to pull out of a building. But we are so proud in our community, and I know West Fargo is going to do a sales tax on a fire station and would ask all residents to support that because you are really the pillars of our community that make a huge difference for us. The other thing I love when talking to the chief is a lot of people who we've trained and have been in our department now are going to smaller fire departments and helping them out. So the footprints you put in this community and any community have longer arms or reaches for us. So congratulations, glad you're here, glad you're on board. Thank you.
I'd now like to introduce West Fargo Fire Chief Dan Fuller.
Good afternoon. My name is Dan Fuller. I'm the fire chief for the city of West Fargo. A couple things I'd like to say today. Number one, to both Mayor Dardis and Mayor Mahoney, thank you very much. Without the support of our political leadership, our elected officials, we would not have the departments that we have here today. And I would tell you that we are, between our two departments, the envy of most fire departments in this region, and for good reason, right? One of those reasons is the excellent staff we have, and I'd like to thank Chief Dirksen and his training staff for the job you guys have done. It's tremendous to see the result of these 10 weeks of training and our recruitment and everything else that goes with it. Being able to serve our community and have these fresh faces in the trucks starting tomorrow is going to be great. To the family members here supporting your firefighters, thank you. It probably doesn't get said enough. There's no way that we could do the job we do without the family support that we have. And it's good and bad, right? And it's going to ebb and flow. There'll be good days and there'll be bad days. There'll be days when we're out and you do something that you're going to do a few times in your career. You're going to catch a baby. You're going to catch a good job and make a save. You're going to save that person in sudden cardiac arrest and get them to come back, right? Those are the good things. There's going to be bad things too, and we know that, and we've seen it before. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and for the family members, thank you for supporting your firefighters, and don't be afraid to ask for help also, okay? Both our departments have very robust systems for helping our firefighters deal with their mental health, and that's important. There's days you're going to come home and you're going to be sad, and I use that word specifically because we're not big, great, strong people who are not able to show emotion, okay? We have the biggest hearts in the room some days, I know that, and that comes back in your family life. So thank you to the family members for your support. To the recruits, congratulations on getting through the academy. It wasn't that tough. We talked a big game at the beginning of the academy. It seems like, I'm not kidding you, it feels to me like it was 2 days ago I talked to you guys, and it's been 10 weeks. It just flew by. And the rest of your career is probably going to do the same thing. It's just going to fly by. One day you're going to be at your retirement ceremony talking about when Chief Dirksen and Chief Fuller and Mayor Mahoney and Mayor Dardis were talking to you about the day you graduated and all the great things you were going to do. And it's just going to go by like that. So take time and enjoy it. It's the best job in the world. And anyone in here wearing a badge right now will shake their head and say the same thing. We always love coming to work. And that's one thing that sets us apart from most people in the community, okay? The trust from the community is important. It's that's the capital that we get to do our job. People trust us. They trust us because they call 911 when they're having a bad day. It might not be some great, huge emergency like you see on Chicago Fire or some other, pick your sitcom, I don't care, whatever you want to watch, right? It's never like that. But to them, it's important that they're having an issue and you come and solve it. You had a smile on your face, you were nice to them, and they remember it. Trust me, they remember it. We get cards at the station all the time from everyone from all walks of life about how we help them. And it could be something as small as changing a tire in front of the fire station to something as big as saving their grandfather's life from a sudden cardiac arrest, okay? It all matters. At the end of the day, it matters, and we know that, okay? It's a privilege to serve the community, and you need to remember that too. We have a lot of fun at work. It's a great job, but just also remember that it is a privilege and you are here to serve. Stick true to your mission statement and your values, and anything you do in your job will be the right thing. If you're keeping those two things in your mind, your decisions will be good and just and right. Lastly, remember our traditions and our legacy. And I was on the way over here, and we had a fire like not an hour ago. I'm not kidding. I still smell like smoke. I left the fire scene and got out of my station uniform and put this on and drove right over here. So I don't have my notes in front of me. I hope I've done a pretty good job. But I was thinking on the way over here about traditions and legacy. So I come from a firefighting family. My father, grandfather, and uncle, my sister, cousin, all firefighters. The legacy and tradition of the fire service is something that we should remember. We enjoy that kind of stuff. So I go back to last week. Last week we had a funeral of one of our life members of the West Fargo Volunteer Fire Department, which was the organization that our current fire department is derived from, right? Our community has grown and we've gone away from volunteers. But he was a volunteer for 20 years back in the 80s. And I looked at it, and the day that he graduated, the day that he joined the West Fargo Fire Department, I was 8 years old at Thorpe Elementary in Danvers, Massachusetts, and I had no clue that I would be there that day, and be here today, right? But I still showed up and I remembered him, right? I met him a few times before he passed, but he was a life member of our department. That's the tradition and the legacy that really binds the fire service together. It doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter what department you're with. It's a family. It's a brotherhood, and we know that, right? The men and women who do this job, you can go to any fire station in the world and say you're on the job, and they will help you with whatever you need, and that's true across, I think across everywhere, right? But the fact that when you retire, and hopefully you retire and you get to have a nice long retirement, And when that day comes to remember you, there'll be someone who's probably sitting at one of these elementary schools in West Fargo or Fargo that you don't even know. They don't know you, but they're going to be there, and they're going to say your name and remember you. And then the generation after that's going to remember you. Most people in this world, they're not going to have a legacy that lives beyond a generation. You will, because of what you're doing, this job and this calling. That's why it's so important, okay? So congratulations, be safe. I'll see you at the big one. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Mayor Dardis, Mayor of West Fargo.
Good afternoon. Congratulations to all of you. It's terrific that you're joining our communities as public servants, and we're very, very grateful for that. One thing that Mayor Mahoney forgot to mention is that they have this 200-pound dummy, you know, that you guys got to cart around. He's volunteered me to be the dummy for 3 years in a row. So with that, my message today here is basically to the families. We have these great young men that are all here and are starting their careers, and that is so exciting. But as I look around the room and I see the men and women that are here, there's moms and dads and aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, but there's children. And one thing that we as public servants, the fact that we are on the administrative side, is that we have to guarantee to our loved ones and to our communities and to these brave men is that they come home at night. And that's a commitment that you'll always have from the city of Fargo and from the city of West Fargo. You know, I know a lot of the command staff that you see over here in uniform and in the crowd. And there's one thing that I can assure you as young men joining this, and you as the families that are here celebrating this great day with them, that these men and these women that are involved in the Fargo Fire and West Fargo Fire Department will do everything to make sure that their recruits here are well-trained and will come home to you in the evening. That's all that matters. You come home safe. Obviously, you want to save the lives or protect the property that's involved during that day, but that's your number one priority. The other thing is, because of the command staff that both departments have, they will be as well-trained as any firefighter in America. There's no doubt in my mind about that. I've seen the commitment of what our West Fargo Fire Department has. Fargo has a terrific tradition as well. I know Chief Dirksen very well. And I can assure you that you can rest assured that these men are well-trained, well-equipped, and will come home to you in the evening. So with that, again, congratulations on your venture of your new careers. We're so very proud of you. There's so often that when we have a fire, particularly south of I-94, both departments respond. So these men will be working together, whether they're in the Fargo Fire Department or the West Fargo Department. There's often times where both cities' units are on site. And that's something that I know that Mayor Mahoney and myself and my commission, the Fargo Commission, we're extremely proud of that working relationship. And that's a credit, again, to the men and women that are in the command staffs that they have integrated that type of agreement between the two of them. So from a very grateful city of West Fargo, thank you for your hospitality today here at Fargo City Hall. And I wish you nothing but the best. Stay safe. Thank you.
All right, our 9 recruits have spent the last 10 weeks with some of our training officers. I'm going to call a couple of them up to say a few words. I'd like to call up Training Captain Adam Kankelfritz, and then West Fargo Training Chief Matt Berg will also speak quickly.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us to celebrate the accomplishments of these fine 9 men here. Like I said, my name's Adam Kankfritz. I'm one of the training captains in Fargo, along with Captains Ben Willey, Brett Petzinger, and Training Chief Matt Berg. We spent the last 10 weeks with these guys, covering a lot of material, classroom and training ground material. And just like today, the weather always didn't cooperate for us. Whether it was putting car fires out in the 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, or trudging through the mud during Auto X training, or just last week, getting soaking wet, plugging a broken sprinkler pipe in the snow. These guys came to work every day, and I was pretty proud of them for that. The word culture is a word that's pretty commonly used in the fire service, and a little joke with these guys here. And they really created a culture of hard work and teamwork amongst each other. It's pretty impressive to see. They worked hard every day, not only better themselves, but each other. They competed and pushed each other every day, but they also helped each other along. They shared experiences from past jobs. They also helped each other by mentoring each other on skills. Some weren't as good as others. And they even had a debate or two, like the Great Burrito Debate of 2022, that lasted all of an entire lunch period one day. But it was an absolute pleasure to watch these 9 fine young men come together as a group. Started as individuals, and by the end, they were a team. I'd like to thank the family members and friends in the audience. Thank you for entrusting them to us, and I hope you guys are as proud of them as we are. I'll leave you with this. Common saying in the fire service is, the day you think you know everything about the job is the day you should probably retire. So I challenge you guys this. Come to the job every day to be a student of the craft. Come to the job eager to learn every day and work hard. And do the best of your ability for your family, your crew, your shift, your station, as well as the community you serve. Congratulations, guys, and I look forward to seeing all the good things you'll do in the community. Thank you.
Commissioners, mayors, chiefs, family, and everyone watching, thank you for taking part in such a great day. Again, my name is Matt Berg, training chief with the West Fargo Fire Department. We came here today to celebrate the end of one accomplishment, which is opening up to the beginning of a much greater one. A career's worth of serving the citizens of West Fargo and Fargo. 10 weeks of academy. Doesn't sound like very much, but like Chief Fuller said, it seemed like it was just yesterday that we started. Time flew by. These recruits have worked hard on everything from hose deployment and hose deployment and hose deployment and ladders, car fires, and everything in between. They've checked off every JPR box that they could, the pro board could throw at them. And this was not just about checking boxes. It was about getting those repetitions in until they got it right, then again until they couldn't get them wrong. Being part of instructing these 9 firefighters has been a great pleasure. This academy has created a great foundation to become a great firefighter throughout their career, and I wish them all a long and healthy career in their departments. Stay committed, keep the culture, and fight hard for the citizens of our community for every shift.
All right, next up, we have a video that's going to show you a little bit of what they've been up to the last 10 weeks.
Well, welcome. We're glad to have you guys here. Great to partner with our neighbors to the west, West Fargo. You're in for 14 weeks of a lot of work. You're going to learn a lot of things. A lot of you know a lot of stuff already, but we're going to teach you the Fargo and the West Fargo way.
The partnership that we have is really, again, built on the instructors in the back and Chief Dirksen and I and the way that we've envisioned that our departments are going to run. Do everything you can to make it better. When you leave this academy, you should be better than you were when you started. When you keep going through your career every day, try to be a little bit better than you were the day before. But enjoy this. This is going to be an experience no other department in the state of North Dakota gets to do. So this is a really awesome thing we're doing.
So if you do everything, like Chief Fuller said, every day a learning day, and you're doing everything to the best of your ability, you're setting that expectation for those people that come in the future.
Throughout Academy, we've kind of had just that competitive nature throughout our Academy where I was kind of getting timed on things and we all want to beat each other. So it was nice that kind of set the set the tone of being competitive with the guys that are around you and wanting to be faster than them. And I mean, it's funny now that those drills seemed like such kind of like a hard thing to get down, and now it's second nature.
It feels cool to see, you know, from week to week. You know, I started off, it took me like just at the 2.5 minute mark that we need to be at, and you know, each week, you know, I'd shave off like 10, 15 seconds and to eventually where I am now. So it was fun. And then obviously it was a little discouraging that first day seeing people put it on under a minute, and I'm just like, I'm still messing with the mask or the SCBA, and I'm just like, but improving, definitely.
The first time you go into the training building, and even our training setup as well, it's new and you don't know the layout, so you get the feel of what it's like responding to an incident. And it's really fun to get in there and no clue where you are, what you're searching, and feel around and identify, okay, this is a crib, this is a bed, you know, I think I'm in a closet, and then you go back afterwards and like, no, that was just a corner of a room. So it's fun to get into somewhere that you don't know what it is and you're not ready for it right off the bat.
That helped a lot because, you know, every house is gonna be different, and so it just being able to see how we react to something that we don't know, or just if it's an older house, you know, how is it built? You know, houses nowadays, they're built with smaller lumber, so if you take an axe to it, it's gonna break easy. Whereas the old buildings, you can hit it, hit it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a confidence course, right? We have like a tight tube that you can barely fit through. Your arms are usually pinned at your sides or straight above your head, and you can't really move much. You're kind of just pushing yourself along with your toes when you're in that tube, or you're being tangled in wires, or doing your best to not get tangled in wires is the goal.
It was a lot less panicky than I thought it was going to be. We've done some practice beforehand. We've got a lot of familiarization with our equipment. So going in and not being able to see and crawling through things, it was just a test of patience and how methodical you could be getting through that. And I also think it was a good way to show that you can think through a problem even if you can't see. If you can feel something and you can move, you can get through any kind of problem. You can get yourself out of anywhere. And it was an awesome experience just to build that confidence of, if I get stuck, I can get out.
I really valued the ride-alongs a lot. It's one thing to be taught the things in class, but to be able to see firefighters and join them and doing some of those things, whether it be responding to medicals or fire alarms or what have you, I thought it was really valuable to see how it's done. And it's cool to see that other stations kind of have their own little bit of culture and the way they do things. And so it was cool getting to see how they interacted with one another in their area of the community.
Overall, I loved learning how to fit in with the crews and getting to know everybody as we went.
It's fun using the Jaws of Life. It's, you know, hauling the big spreaders around. As far as, you know, learning it, I think it goes back to us spending the first, you know, little bit of the day in the classroom going over what we're actually doing, and then going out to get to use everything we just talked about. It helps cement it in your mind pretty fast, I think.
I definitely learn best hands-on. Kind of the death by PowerPoint thing is not, I don't think it's anyone's favorite thing, so it was nice the training captains that we have. You'd kind of do the morning thing, and then they were usually pretty apt to like, all right, let's get out there and start doing some stuff. And when we initially did like throwing roof ladders, putting that roof ladder up there, I mean, carrying a ladder up a ladder and then placing it on the roof is just super awkward. If you've never done it before, it feels really weird and it's uncomfortable. And just like anything else in this academy, there's so many things that feel very uncomfortable and maybe a little unnerving, and they just run you through it so many times that after a while, it's not a big deal at all anymore, and you feel really comfortable.
How meticulous you have to be was kind of a whole different ball game of when you're taking off the suits after encountering a hazardous material, you can't touch the outside. And so it was cool to see how really prepared and cautious these firefighters are for those hazardous materials.
It's a very in-depth subject with a lot of science behind it. The hands-on stuff with hazmat though was pretty enjoyable. It was a lot of fun to see how to get to do stuff, and then I had the opportunity to attend a training on a ride-along for hazmat that we actually got to do higher level practices.
It's cool to be able to put everything on, go out and put the fire out. I'd say my favorite one was probably the second one, and that's mostly because everybody got their own rep in a different position. I think we did it 9 times for everybody.
I think my favorite part was when we were watching a fire be ignited and we got to see kind of what it looked like growing, and even just being able to like feel the heat and have to kind of duck under the smoke in the room was kind of surreal, because you see that in movies, but to be able to see that fire and be kind of close to it the way we were was really cool.
I think my favorite one was the second one that we did, mostly just because it involved the entire aspect. Pulling a hose, charging a line, going into a building that's, low visibility, it's hot, and then getting to actually around a corner and seeing, a fire that we get to put water on. It was a good culmination of everything that we had practiced dry before that, getting to actually do the work.
We rarely ever see fire develop, right? You go into a fire, you put the fire out, you don't see the fire develop typically. So that opportunity to get to watch and learn fire behavior, I think, is really valuable.
The culture and the mindset of the first responders in the area, it as a whole, is very, very good. We have a good relationship with PD. We'll give each other grief and heckle each other, but when it comes down to it, when we're working at a scene or anything, everyone works together really well. Working with Fargo PD is virtually the same as working with West Fargo.
Sometimes there can be an expectation that other departments kind of go back and forth and butt heads, but really the whole FM area has an awesome culture between not only fire departments, but we worked with Sanford Ambulance and the police department and dispatch, and it's cool to see that everyone wants to work together to really just protect the whole community. And so West Fargo was right alongside with us, giving us their helps or their help and their tips, and honestly, yeah, it felt like we were a part of the same department.
I think when it came down to certain aspects of like my past career, that when I was a medic, it was awesome to be able to share experiences. And I think that kind of helped build relationships amongst the instructors, the other people in the academy. And it really cemented that like culture of trust, knowledge sharing, and trying to be a part of a team where no knowledge is secret. I want everyone to know what I know, and vice versa.
I really just like the chance to just get together with all these guys and just see where they're at and what kind of experiences they've had. Like, even though I have some experiences, I'm still picking up things from them because everybody has their own life. So some guys were paramedics, like to see what do they do on certain things now, and because they have that experience that I don't.
Yeah, it's been great to, the facilities that Fargo has is different than what we have in West Fargo, and it's great to be able to come over and use those and work together, and for Fargo to come over and see what we've got and use what we have. It's been a good combination of stuff. The Fargo training captains and our training chief working together and getting those perspectives from different size departments, and it's been really good.
I think it created a really great culture, a really great learning environment. All the different levels of experience. A lot of guys have EMS experience, paramedics. So really just all the different perspectives and viewpoints, seeing things from the EMS side, seeing things from the fire side. I think it was a really good learning opportunity.
I think it's been a great experience. I think even with 9 of us, the instructors have been able to manage. They've taught us a lot. It's been drinking from the proverbial fire hose, if you will, but I think they do a wonderful job of getting us ready to rock and roll. And once we get on shift, it's a never-ending learning opportunity. We're never going to stop learning as firefighters. Every day is a chance to learn, and I think we'll be done learning when we retire.
It was a lot of fun. I like the other recruits that I was with in Academy. We had a really good time. Everyone gets together very well. We joke around a lot and have a lot of fun, so it's been good.
It's been an awesome experience. All the guys that I went through were really, really great. Can't say enough about them. The training captains have been just outstanding. Super great guys with just a huge wealth of knowledge to share, and just an awesome experience and just a great culture.
Thank you to our communications team for help with that video. I'd now like to call our new recruit firefighters up one at a time to take their oath. Ethan Spade, badge 514, he'll be going to C shift in Fargo. Logan Anderson, badge number 515, will be going to A shift. Brandon Malia, badge number 516, will be going to B shift. Ryan Blotsky, badge number 517, is going to C shift. Kyle Gross, badge number 518, is going to A shift. Cody Malish, badge 519, is going to A shift. West Fargo, did Charlie make it? He didn't. Okay, Charlie was riding the truck today and got stuck at that fire, so we'll have two West Fargo candidates here. Rob Dirk is going to A shift with West Fargo Fire. Martin O'Brien is going to A shift with West Fargo Fire. To give the oath for Fargo Fire will be Fire Marshal Ryan Erickson.
Okay, Fargo Fire Department recruits, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the position of firefighter for the City of Fargo Fire Department. I will, to the best of my ability, work to reduce the rate of emergencies through public education and code enforcement, protect lives and property from fire and other emergencies, and respond to emergencies in a professional and courteous manner. So help me God.
Deputy Chief Del Sprecher will read the West Fargo oath.
City of West Fargo recruits, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the constitutions of the state of North Dakota, and I will faithfully follow the orders of the fire chief to the best of my ability and the orders of the officer appointed over me. So help me God. Congratulations.
I'd like now to invite up the badge pinners for Ethan Spade, badge 514. His father, Steve, will pin his badge. Logan Anderson, badge 515. His wife, Karina, will pin his badge. Brandon Malia, badge 516. His badge pinner will be his wife Morgan and daughter Ren. Ryan Blotsky, badge 517. His badge pinner will be his father Jason and mother Shelley. Kyle Gross, badge 518. His badge pinner will be his wife Lita. Cody Malish, badge 519. His badge pinner will be his father Jason and current Fargo Fire Captain. All right. Rob Dirk, his badge pinner will be his daughter Paisley and wife Melissa. Martin O'Brien, badge pinner will be his son Finn and wife Amanda. Congratulations to the Spring Joint Recruit Academy class of 2022. That concludes the ceremony. We're going to ask that our new firefighters all remain where you're at, and we'll do a handshake line for anybody that would like to shake their hand. It keeps it easier. Otherwise, they spread out and we can't find them. So with that, that concludes the ceremony. We will have cake and coffee, and you can take pictures and so forth out at our Fire Station 4, 2701 First Avenue North after the ceremony too. Congratulations.